All right, y'all. It's a premiere show, the arena this week. Me and Ben Cat. Man, we got a bunch of articles today, so we're gonna touch on. We'll touch on three today. You know, I read this article about talking about labeling us as African Americans, black, different. Let's see. U.S. government rendering what race and or the government reconsidering what race and ethnicity means. So that's an interesting article. Okay, so you want to
Yeah,
introduce that, MD?
yeah. Peace. What's going on? So yeah, Again, like Blackson said, this is like a rough pilot to arena this week. Arena this week will be focusing on some of the top stories of the previous week in terms of black politics. You know what I mean? For the most part, trying to correlate it to us as a people and how it affects us, whether it be a small scale or a much broader scale. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, I guess we can pull up. It don't matter which one you pull up. You can pull up either one, Black Sign. So something's going on right now that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. A lot of black folks are aware of. So every 10 years, so the OMB, which is the Office of Management and Budget, they reconvene and discuss basically ethnicity. They discuss how each demographic is labeled and how they view it when it comes to census records. So it's been a fight going on the past I say the last couple of months. The OMB just ramped up in February with the special consideration. So a lot of people have been going in and putting in public comment. You can do so via their website, Office of Management and Budget. I don't know the exact because I'm driving right now. Like I said, it's a rough draft when it comes to this show. But what I should have did was give everybody the website so they could go and look at some of the public comments. So the OMB does special consideration every 10 years in regards to the marking of ethnicity, for everybody. So basically what they do is they open up and they used to do this public, but now, everything online. So you can basically be considered in public comment basically, as opposed to what you consider direct ethnicity to whatever the position may be, right? In regards to that, there's been a direct correlation between reparations and the specificity of reparations. So with that being said, a lot of people within ADOS, a lot of people within what you would call FBA, and what I consider myself to be a freedman, have been making special consideration and doing public comment in a lot of these forums in the OMB. So I guess we can go into the article, Black Sun. If you could start off reading, I'm about to get ready to stop here in a second, and then I can you can tag me in and I'll read the rest
Okay, just let me know when.
once you pull the article up.
Okay, can you see it on the screen now, or do I
I
gotta go?
can, but like I said, I
Oh, it's
can't,
little. Okay. No problem. No
But I
problem.
mean,
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it really don't matter if it's big enough now, but like I won't be able to read it because it's too small for me,
Oh
even when
shit.
I stop.
Okay. Right. I got what you're saying. Okay.
So if you
Okay.
might be able to blow it up, like once I start, you know what I mean, like I can read it.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can blow this thing up.
And let me say, This is what I'm talking about. Real work. Shouts out the brother Naheem. Everybody in the conscious community may know him as Lord Allen. He's at the forefront in a lot of these discussions, and the brother is putting in like some hard labor when it comes to this reparation fight. And he's spotlighted in both articles on the Griot and the Huffington Post. Just to put that out there. All right, let me see what you got.
Okay.
Okay, all right, yeah, I can read that. Yeah, I can read that.
Okay.
All right, all right, so we dealing with this, right? This is from, what is this, the Griot? Is this the Griot article or the Huffington Post article?
This one is a Huffington Post article. I gotta pull it back up.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's cool.
Okay,
no, that's cool.
Okay.
All right, yeah, this is from the Huffington Post. The U.S. government is reconsidering what race and ethnicity mean. Americans have long had an intense conversation about what race and ethnicity says about who they are. All right, Naheem Way, that's Lord Albert, y'all. Naheem Way is weary of people conflating African American and black. Salini Pekra wants a way for South Asian people to identify themselves differently from East Asian, with roots in places like China or Japan. And Byron Haskin wants the U.S. to toss racial and ethnic labels altogether. When you set up categories that are used to place people in boxes, sometimes you miss the truth of them, says Haskin, who describes himself as African American. Way, Pekra, and Haskins' voices are among more than 4,600 comments pending before the Biden administration as it contemplates updating the nation's racial and ethnic categories for the first time since 1997. There's a lot to consider. Some Black Americans want their ancestors' enslavement recognized in how they are identified. Some Jewish people believe their identity should be seen as its own ethnic category and not only a religion. The idea of revisiting categories for ethnic and racial identities, both in the census and in gathering demographic information between head counts, have fueled editorials and think tank essays, as well as thousands of written comments by individuals in what is almost a Rorschach test for how Americans identify themselves. The White House's Office of Management and Budget (OMB) is set to decide on new classification next year and is hosting 3 virtual town halls on the subject this week. Some conservatives question the process itself, saying the overarching premise that Americans need more ethnic categories will only accelerate balkanization. By creating and deepening sub-national identities, the government further contributes to the decline of one national American identity, wrote Mike Gonzalez, a senior fellow at the Heritage Foundation, in his personal comment posted on the OMB webpage, seeking public input. That view contrasts sharply with those who say previous categories have overlooked nuances. This is certainly a singular moment, an opportunity to greatly improve and enhance the accuracy and completeness of the data. Mario Beovides, Director of Policy and Legislative Affairs for the NALEO Educational Fund, said during a recent forum. Scroll down.
Okay.
Let me see where I'm at. My bad. The proposed changes would create a new category for people of Middle Eastern and North African descent. Now, I'm going to stop right there.
Okay.
Used to be, it was a subcategory, meaning that they had white or white American, and they had white what? Oh, damn, what happened?
No.
Okay. They had white American, and people that may be a little bit older than me may remember this. They had white American, which which basically meant Anglo white, Irish white, blah blah blah, this and that. Then they had white, Middle Eastern, and North African. Who remember that? Do
I
you remember
remember.
that, Black Son?
Oh, yep, sure do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to put that out there in the atmosphere. The wink, wink. So, people of Middle Eastern and North African descent, also known by the acronym MENA, who are now classified as white. There we go. But say they have been routinely undercounted. The process also would combine the race and ethnic origin questions into a single query, because some advocates say the current method of asking about race and separately about ethnic origin often confuses Hispanic respondents. With the revisions, the government would try to get more detailed answers on race and ethnicity by asking about country of origin. Another proposal recommends striking from federal government forms the words Negro and Far East, now widely regarded as pejorative. The terms majority and minority will also be dropped because you have to scroll down, Black Son.
All right.
Because some offices say they fail to reflect the nation's complex racial and ethnic diversity. Several black, oh no, you went too far.
Okay.
Several black Americans, like Wade, whose ancestors were enslaved, said in public comment to the OMB that they would like to be identified in a category such as American freedmen. There you go. Foundational black Americans or American descendants of slavery to distinguish themselves from black immigrants or even white individuals born in Africa, as well as reflecting their ancestors' history in the U.S. Wade, who is president of the United Sons and Daughters of Freedmen, shouts out to him, which describes itself as dedicated to restoring the broken promises from Reconstruction, also recommended substituting the word population group for race. Scroll down.
Okay.
Conflating African American with black has blurred what it means to be an African American in this country. Wade, who works for a pharmaceutical company in Athens, Georgia, said in a telephone interview. Haskins, a retired government worker from Lansing, Michigan, suggested eliminating race categories like white or black, since they perpetuate deeply rooted unjust socio-political construct. Uh-oh. Instead, he said people should be able to self-identify as they wish. I don't agree with that. But when his sociologist daughter points out the difficulty of aggregating such data into something useful to address inequities in housing or voting, or tailoring health or education programs to the needs of communities, he tells her, go crazy at it. That's what you're being paid for. Okay.
Okay. Let me scroll down.
Is that it?
A
And
little
it's a
bit
long
more.
article.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to search for the truth and not just stay with the old categories because someone decided. That is what we decided, Haskins said. Correct. Oh, damn, I don't know how to say correct. How did I say it before? Damn, I thought I said it right.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is asking the government to distinguish South Asians from East Asians. Now even the Indians want to
Yep.
want to get, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When these groups are assessed together, one loses a lot of important granularity that can help differentiate issues that are specific to one group and not another. Correct says. The MENA community appears to be having a related problem based on several comments to OMB. Without its own category, the group's political power is diluted. People could benefit from cohesive representation, especially if identifiers were taken into account in drawing political districts, advocates said. All right. Oh no, we went too far.
Mhm.
Oh no, I can do that. Okay. It comes down to something even more personal for Huda Marua, who describes herself to the Biden administration as a 73-year-old Arab American woman. When I go to the doctor's office, I do not feel they have the information necessary to understand my medical history or my culture, she said. For all these reasons, I want to be counted as who I am, not as white. Yeah, right. Scroll down.
Mhm.
Jordan Steiner said ethnic categories should be expanded to include not only MENA, but other groups like Jews who often regard themselves not only as members of a religious group, but as an ethnic one too. Jessica Axoy commended the proposals to expand the categories, saying she often felt limited about which boxes to check as someone of Turkish, European, and Jewish language, heritage. Recognizing our differences is honoring and celebrating the rich melting pot of America, Axoy said. The face of America is changing, and this initiative is for process in recognizing that. I think that's it.
Okay.
Okay, so again, so here you have the OMB opening up this and they do this every 10 years, but it really hasn't been an issue for anybody because going back to what we would consider MENA is basically the region of that particular area, whether North African, um, Arab North African descent. That's the MENA region. MENA, uh, uh, more than anything, was I guess you would say, do I want to say it was anthropological? You know, they start using it first. So now a lot of people from that region look at it as an ethnic identifier now. Not African, by the way. You know what I mean? They want to distinguish themselves from the rest of Africa. The same goes with the Jewish community. The Jewish community, for the longest time, legally, has not been an ethnic group. It's always been a religion. The United States legislatively never looked at being Jewish as an ethnic group. But with the progression of the Jewish community, they want to be singled out. Uh, the most important of all, I think it's important legislatively, once again, because everything works through legal action. You have to be able to identify who you are legally in order to get any services provided for a specific group of people. That's the most important part about it. That's why I think it's important that we distinguish ourselves ethnically from black. Black ain't gonna cut it. I'm sorry. We can say that we black people all day. I consider myself a black person. I'll never take away from the rich culture of the broadness of being black. But from a legislative standpoint, I can't get nothing done going in saying that I'm black. It don't work that way. So what's being done in the OMB, everybody is jockeying for a position when it comes to status. Because you can use your ethnicity as a status. Race is different. Our ethnicity is you can choose from that. I choose freedmen, but if they choose to go with foundational Black American, or if they choose to go with American descendants of slaves, I ain't gonna be mad. Because at the end of the day, I know what it's there for. It's there to distinctively identify me. You know what I mean? From the broadness of being black. And with that being done, we can then start to push policies for a specific status. So I thought that article was important, and I don't think a lot of people know what's going on in OMB right now. You got anything on that Blackson?
Um, yeah, the Arab woman who no longer wants to be classified as white, Do you think because the white population is shrinking, so she
Well,
looks at this as a
I believe because now whiteness is not a distinct advantage anymore, like it used to be.
right?
That's
Yeah,
why
right,
when shit hit the fan, I bet you they wish they was white.
right,
You know
right,
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but now we're living in a political reality where being white doesn't have the advantages that it did in yesteryear.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We've been saying that all along. But the political line in the proverbial line in the sand is being drawn by a lot of different ethnic groups
Right.
based on the fact that whiteness is not as meaningful as it once was.
Right.
You could say the same thing about the Jews. They were counted as white.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now they want their own status. Black and white is not a status. Black and white was used as a construct to create a superior social group.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was there for.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're beginning to see black and white it ain't gonna cut it. Not
So,
not in not in terms of anything legal.
so the status of being white is much like the petrodollar,
I mean, yeah, kind of sort of in a way.
kind of, sort of, in a way.
Well, the status of being white was based on the ideology of white supremacy.
So it was the petrodollar.
But the ideology, and this is what I'm telling to the people that believe solely in white supremacy being the system.
Okay.
The, the fact that the OMB is doing this and the fact that is such of a big deal shows you that the ideology of white supremacy is no longer in effect in terms of the legislative
Right.
power in the country.
Right. Right.
That's the highlight of the article.
Right. Absolutely.
So again, as I continue to say, now more than ever, and to anybody that will listen to me, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Get into politics, whether it be on the grassroots, whether it be simply by populace or by poll, or running for office somewhere,
That's right.
despite the level of it, because we are in a position to govern ourselves. Hell, everybody in the country is in a position to govern themselves
That's right.
with the progression of legislative practices in 2023. So this is going to be vital. This is going to be
Mm-hmm.
important.
That's
Black
right.
and white is black and white. By the time I'm dead and gone, and by the time my kids get of age and my grandkids, it's going to be obsolete. It's going to be about the political power that you can exude in order to get policies done for your specific group, the way it was meant to be the whole time. You know what I mean? Yeah, it took a long ass time to do it, but that don't take away from it being done. So again, I think that was important for me to highlight that article because it shows, it shows the advancements of progressive political play in part. Now as far as being a progressive in that aspect, I can rock with it because ultimately, progressivism in the country is to move policy forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I thought that was important. You got any lasting words on that part?
Um, you say in your children's lifetime, I'm seeing it unfold as we speak right now. They're actually, other groups are actually scrambling for it just based on this article. They're already scrambling. They're already scrambling for it. So now's the time to scramble for it. You know.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're right. You're right. You're right. No doubt. Okay. We can get into the next article. I think the only other one I didn't know if you had any that you
All right.
bring up, but I guess we can get into
Let me pull it up.
We can
Let's see.
get into the next thing, Majigga. Matter of fact, let me while you doing that, let me check
Okay,
my.
which article are you talking about? The other, well, because you only sent me two, but only one. Hold on, let me see if this other
Oh
one
no,
pulls up.
I did send you. I'm looking at it right now. The PBS
Oh,
article.
okay. Okay, hold on. Well, it's not showing up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it in our what you call like our chat thing, Majigga.
Okay, hold on. Okay, we got. Okay, the griot. Okay, I got the griot. Oh,
No,
okay,
well,
the bank
we can
collapse.
skip
Okay.
that one because it's pretty much the same thing.
Oh, okay. So here's the bank collapse right here. Got it. Hold on. I just okay. I didn't know you sent me that first. Okay, that's what it was. Boom. Let's pull this thing up and let me blow it up. Share screen. Let me scroll down a little bit here. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Now let me share screen. Boom. Present.
Yeah, we gonna keep it short, GTO, because I want to go over there and listen to Trevor interview. Yeah, it ain't gonna be long.
Okay.
Hell, we might end with this article.
Okay, here we go. Boom. There we go.
Yeah, if Blackson ain't got nothing else you want to highlight, yeah, we might just end with this one, so we can get over there to SVDL.
Or go bigger.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come up on my end.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
I don't know if that's me or
Hold on.
okay. Yeah, it's up now.
Okay.
All right, make it take us off and make it full screen.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Little make it
All
bigger.
right. Yeah, no, that's fine. I can read that.
Oh,
Is that the
okay,
top?
cool. I think hold on. That yeah. Okay, so here's the very top right here. Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, this article right here is from PBS, y'all. So it says analysis: what Silicon Valley Bank collapse means for the U.S. financial system. Silicon Valley Bank, which created the tech industry for 3 decades, collapsed on March 10th, 2023, after the Santa Clara, California-based lender suffered from an old-fashioned bank run. State legislators seized the bank and made the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation its receiver.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here, but yeah, you got to scroll down.
Okay. All right.
Okay, all right. SVB, as it's known, was the biggest U.S. lender to fail since the 2008 global financial crisis and the second biggest ever. We asked William Chittenden, associate professor of finance at Texas State University, to explain what happened and whether Americans should be worried about the safety of their financial system. Why did Silicon Valley Bank collapse so suddenly? The short answer is that SVB did not have enough cash to pay depositors, so the regulators closed the bank. So
Mm.
remember the other day when I was talking about the Panic of 1873. This essentially is the same type of panic
Mm-hmm.
where uh, the bank, due to withdrawal and massive lending, didn't have the funds to go on through with certain withdrawal. So with SVB, if I'm correct, it had to shut down based off of not having the funds that through deposits. The same type of situation. You know what I mean? The longer answer begins during in the pandemic. Scroll down when SVB and many
Okay.
other banks were raking in more deposits than they could lend out to borrow. In 2021, deposits at SVB doubled. but they had to do something with all that money. So what they could not lend out, they invested in ultra safe U.S. Treasury security. The problem is the rapid increase in interest rates in 2022 and 2023 caused the value of these securities to plunge. So when they invested in these treasury bonds, basically, and we all know what happened at the beginning of 2022, hyperinflation happened. With hyperinflation came larger interest rates for pretty much everything. With larger interest rates came not being able to pay. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A characteristic of bonds and similar securities is what is that when yields or interest rates go up, prices go down, and vice versa. We all know that how the oil prices went in 2022.
That's right.
When the oil prices went up, gas prices went up, but all the services went down. So in my industry, fuel was sky high. With that, loads were cheap. Like, so we were paying more for gas, but getting paid less for loads. And it killed a lot. Hell, it killed me because
Yep.
I had my own truck at the time. I had to get my truck up because I couldn't afford to put fuel in the truck.
Yep.
Not with how much the loads went basically half the price
Yep.
than 2021. The bank recently said it took a 1.8 billion-dollar hit on the sale of some of those securities, and they were unable to raise capital to offset the loss as their stock began dropping. That prompted prominent venture capital firms to advise the companies they invest in to pull their business from Silicon Valley Bank. This had a snowball effect. You have to scroll down.
All right.
That led to a growing number of SVB depositors to withdraw their money. So there you go, right there. The same thing what we saw happen in Panic of 1873. The same thing happened here. Everybody started to pull out. Everybody started to pull their money out of SVB. Are the deposits now safe? From a practical perspective, the FDIC is now running the bank.
Mm.
It is typical for the FDIC to shut a bank down on a Friday and have the bank reopen the following Monday. In this case, the FDIC has already announced that the bank will reopen on March 13th as a Deposit Insurance National Bank of Santa Clara. So basically now it's a FDIC ran bank. So the shutdown is based off of the privatization. Now basically the federal government owns it. Where am I at? I can't see that top part.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me scroll down a little bit. All right, hold on. Bit. There we go.
Okay. At the end of 2022, SVB had 175.4 billion in deposits. It's not clear how much of those deposits remain with the bank and how much of those are insured and 100% safe. For depositors with $250,000 or less in cash at SVB, the FDIC said that customers will have access to all of their money when the bank reopens. For those with uninsured deposits at SVB, basically anything above the FDIC limit of $250,000, they may or may not receive back the rest of their money. God damn. These
Shit.
depositors will be given a receiver's certificate by the FDIC. So I stopped there. So basically, pretty much at any bank that we have, if you have a limit of $250,000 is basically how much is secured under the bank federally.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So for a regular person like me or you, $250,000. It's for everybody. $250,000 is what's insured. So you can rest assured, even if something happened to that bank, that you'll have access to that funding. But when you see like millionaires and people like that, that's
Yeah.
why a lot of them put their money in what they put them in either bonds or trusts, or
Facts.
they put them in overseas accounts. The reason they do that, it ain't because they doing nothing shady. A lot of times they do that because overseas the insurance rate is higher than it is here. So they'll put them in different accounts to make sure that that money is insured, meaning ain't
Mhm.
nothing gonna happen to it.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people put their money in like a lot of millionaires, like
Cayman
Bank of
Island. Yep.
Cayman Islands, Bank of Monaco, stuff
Hmm.
like that,
Yep.
because that's a high end bank, meaning that their insurance rate in terms of the money limit is way higher than any U.S. privately owned bank, if that makes sense.
It does.
For the uninsured amount of their deposits, the FDIC has already said it will pay some of the uninsured deposits, scroll,
So okay.
by next week. So basically, the FDIC is trying to scramble to make sure that don't nobody lose money, but they not making any promises. With
Damn.
additional payments possible as the regulator liquidates SVB's assets. But if SVB's investments have to be sold at a significant loss, uninsured depositors may not get any additional payment. So, based off of the loss of funding in SVB, the FDIC is going to have to liquidate a lot of their assets, meaning
Yeah.
a lot of their, if they got any foreclosed property, any investment deposits, SVB may have, they going to have to liquidate all of that just to pay some of these folks back. You know what I mean? But like the article said, if they may have to sell some stuff on pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
If they do that, it ain't no guarantee that you may get some money, but not all. What was the last U.S. bank to fail? Prior to the failure of SVB, the most recent bank failures occurred in October 2020 when both Alameda State Bank in Kansas and First City Bank of Florida were taken over by the FDIC. Both of these banks were relatively small, with about 200 million in deposits combined. Okay, you can scroll all the way down to the bold print.
Okay.
Is there any risk that more banks might fail? At the end of 2022, SVB was the 16th largest bank in the United States with 209 billion in assets. That sounds like a lot, and it is, but that's just 0.91% of all banking assets in the U.S. That there is little risk that SVB's failure will spill over to other banks. Having said that, SVB's collapse does highlight the risk that many banks have in their investment portfolios. If interest rates continue to rise, and the Federal Reserve has indicated that they will, the value of the investment portfolios of banks across the U.S. will continue to go down. Scroll.
Okay.
While these losses are just on paper, meaning they're not realized until the assets are sold, they still can increase a bank's overall risk. How much the risk will go up will vary from bank to bank. The good news is that most banks currently have enough capital to absorb these losses, however large, in part because of efforts taken by the Fed after the 2008 financial crisis to ensure financial firms can weather any storm. So rest easy for now. The banking system is sound. Yeah, okay, that's it.
Okay.
All right. So what we could take away from that, we have to understand a lot of these investments that a lot of these banks are making, or a lot of these depositors that are going into these banks. You got to understand what's going on with the money. If you got like a large sum of money, and I don't got no large sum of money in the bank by any stretch of the mean, but I would suggest that anybody that's got, let's say, over $50,000 in the bank, you can request in a lot of these banks to get what they call an asset roll, meaning that what are the bank's investment, whether it be foreclosures, whether it be car liens, whatever, all that stuff is public record. They can't like not tell it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With that being said, when stuff happens, and this is to protect your money. Again, $250,000 you protect it either way. But it's still good to know what's going on with the bank. A lot of that asset roll will tell you what's going on with what. A lot of the mainstream banks like we deal with, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Truist, that I mean, it's gonna be hard pressed for those type of companies like to go down. You know what I mean? But it's always safe to know what's going on in the bank. Now
Yes.
that's not to say that a major financial crisis couldn't happen. I ain't saying that. I'm saying that if that's part of your thinking process, you should know what that means for you and your financial institution. You got anything on that, Black Son?
No, I think you covered that quite well.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah. No, go ahead.
well, the only, the FDIC is covering 250,000, but like you said, um, you made a very good point. I guess the people with over that amount, like you said, they pre-plan ahead. Do they have financial advisors that tell them to do that? To go to Cayman Island and different parts of countries around the world?
If you had that much money when you have a
Yeah,
account,
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty sure they advise them, hey, like you split your money up. Don't put it all in one pot.
Right, right. Mm,
You know, you not only can you, like I said, not only can you have those overseas accounts, but you could put a lot of accounts on in here. Like a lot of people got different bank accounts. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's right. Hmm.
I mean, like Chase. I know Chase. They got like a program where they can split your money up. Like I don't know if you remember, like when the whole Kanye West stuff was going on, and when they basically like severed the contract. I don't remember, was it Chase? I don't remember who it was. It was one banking institution. But a lot of people that got like money like that,
Yeah,
depending on the bank institution, they split the money up into several accounts.
right,
So when that particular company severed ties with Kanye, they basically void his accounts is what they did.
mm,
They said no, it depends on what your money looking like at the end of the day.
that's right,
Pretty sure Kanye got some overseas accounts too,
right,
but yeah, I mean it really depends on your financial situation.
that's right,
I mean, I ain't in no position to say I got several accounts. You know what I mean?
right, right,
So,
right.
yeah, $250,000. That sounds pretty straight to me right now.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, when the whole thing happened last week, like a lot of people were panicking about it, and it is a political situation because we have to understand, or we have to monitor or regulate what these banks are doing in terms of investment.
Absolutely.
That's the important part about it. And I think that's what Trump was trying to highlight when he was talking about it. Yeah, the FDIC is cool with certain regulation when it comes to us, but what about the regulation when it comes to the actual financial institution?
That's right.
So I think it needs to be more, like me personally, I think it needs to be more regulation in terms of how these banks are investing money. You know what I mean? And I think like it should be mandatory that these banks, despite how much money you got in the bank, it should be mandatory that these banks list these investments to you. If you
That's
have
right.
an account, damn what bank it is, if you have an account in whatever bank, whatever financial institution, it should be mandatory for that bank to give you at least an annual asset report on what that bank is doing with the money. I think all banks should do that.
Absolutely.
And if I was president, I would add that to the regulation of the FDIC. But that's just me. That's just like every year when you like for people that's got like W-2s, I think every year, if you got like a 401k or if you got like a IRA, that IRA sends you a report on the investment. I think the same should go for bank statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
That's to keep that financial institution on their toes, so they can know, hey, like these people are watching.
That's right.
Like depositors are watching. So that way you ain't got to worry about. I mean, that it's not gonna take away from widespread panic from the sense of if something happened, but at least you got eyes on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you talking about a lot of these banks that got people that are depositing millions.
Yeah.
So I think that should be mandatory. You was about to say something?
No, I was just going to say that. Yeah, I think by having more eyes on them, MD, that they'll take less risky.
Investment, right?
Yeah, less risky investment. I think there'll be more. I think with more regulations, there'll be more sound investment. If that makes any sense. I mean, I know everything's not guaranteed 100%, but it seems like, I guess, be more conservative with their investments. I don't know. I just damn.
I mean, how? So, if I'm a depositor, well, let me ask you this: if you're at a bank, do you think you should have say so in the investment that institution does?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, that's your money.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's your money. So hell yeah, you should have a say so.
All right then. So yeah, that's all we had. Well, I planned on doing a couple more articles, but like I said, it's been a long day for me.
No problem.
And then like Trevor, like he live now on SVDL, so I want to check that out. And yeah, man, it was a dry run. You know what I mean? We're gonna be doing this every Tuesday.
Absolutely.
So every Tuesday, we'll be bringing articles discussing the latest political news and how it affects us. And Thursday, Arena Abroad. So yeah, that's what we got. You got anything else before we leave, Blackson?
No, that's it. Like I said, we got a premiere show, Rainier Abroad, and then tomorrow we got, I think we got Wrestling Wednesday. Yeah, Wrestling Wednesday tomorrow. So yeah, man. And then Friday we got Arena Abroad premiering Friday, and then we got the Prison Reform show with Rule Breaker premiering on Friday. So yeah. Join
Arena Abroad on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And Rule Breaker on Friday.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm about to go over here and check out the brother Trevor, man, and we'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Wrestling Wednesday.
All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Peace. We out.
Peace.
The Arena of Sense.